morning, everybody, people inside this room and also you all online. And it's great also that so many people are joining us online. And now I will tell you something about this Koli area, because that might be very interesting of you to hear some facts, what we are doing in this area at this moment. I don't have so much clear results, because we have now collected plenty of data and there's much work still undone.
We had the same problem just a second ago.
Sorry for technical problems.
Okay, now it works.
Okay, so where we are now. We are now here under the star, and so Koli is located about approximately 70 kilometers from city of Joensuu, and this is very famous place. Actually, more than 100 and 200 years, very famous painters and writers visited this area, and this is some kind of national landscape, and also today thousands and thousands of visitors are spending time in this Koli hill area or Koli mountain area. And we are here in under that star, and this area, that red edged area, is our research area. So the Koli National Park is quite small. The area is something approximately 35 square kilometers, but there are plenty of trails and places to enjoy the sceneries and place for camping. And also we yesterday enjoyed the sceneries while we spent some time on our research area. And also I wish to tell you some facts about Ipstypographus situation in Finland today, because I guess that quite many of you don't know exactly which kind of situation we have at this moment with Ipstypographus. Well, approximately 20 years ago or 30 years ago, well, Ipstypographus was met in some years. It was so-called common species, but it didn't cause any kind of serious outbreaks or any bad infestations. Only it killed some scattered trees in some years if we had, for example, wind disturbances. But something happened year 2010. That was a turning point regarding Ipstypographus outbreak density and spatial scale of those outbreaks. So in 2010 we had very hot summer, and then came thunderstorms. We had 4 different big, large thunderstorms during that summer, and that caused serious change in Ipstypographus population dynamics here in Finland. And after that, in some years, we already have met the second generation within 1 year, and that is something which we never before had an experience. And here on the left-hand side, we have a data collected by Alex Bulgari, preparing his doctoral thesis. And he collected salvage locking operation data from the Finnish Forest Center archives. And we can see very clearly that during years starting 2012 and in 2020, we have had plenty of salvage loggings, mainly due to Ipstopographus outbreaks here in southern and southeastern parts of the country. And then we can see in the middle a case which we had last year. As you can compare, there are also salvage loggings happening more further north compared to those earlier years. So the outbreak intensity is also moving towards north. So Koli area is somewhere here. So also quite near of this Koli area. There have been salvage loggings operations due to Ipstopographus damages. And then also some information from the last year. The Natural Resource Institute Finland is collecting pheromone trapping data on some certain locations in southern and mid parts of the country. And also last year we can see that in southern parts of the country there are serious problems with Ipstopographus also in southeastern parts. But still, until the city of Kajaani in mid parts of Finland, there are already now some first outbreaks appearing. And so the whole problem is going towards north. And more about this Koli area and also what we are doing here. So our main aims are, of course, to understand the population dynamics of Ipstopographus in this kind of condition. So we are inside a national park. This is a conserved area. And we need to understand also the meaning of the elevation, the topography, because we have quite high differences in elevation here in Koli area, because typically Finland is quite flat. But in this area, we have differences in elevation. And also we are studying host insect relationships and what is explaining, for example, the resistance of host trees here in this area. And also we are very interested, what are the drivers which are making those infestation spots and make those infestation spots bigger and bigger every year? Why they are expanding in this area, and there are special drivers causing that change. And one thing is that we had a serious snow damages in this area in the year 2018. And also after that, we have had every winter, we have had some snow damages. Also, we have had very dry summer seasons. That's also one of the problems. And that has launched outbreak of Ipstopographus here in this special Koli area. Also other bark beetles which Novice Brew is hosting are already very typical here. For example, Pidiogenus species and Polygraphus species are very typical. Also there are some remarks of some spots of root rot of spruce, but that's not so serious threat compared to southern parts of the country. And then we can see very typical stem and crown symptoms here in this area. And then I wish to share a video with you, if hopefully this is working. So this is a video which a photographer, Jarno Artika, has taken last spring. It was late May when he was here. And this area is just beside this highest Koli hills, Koli so-called mountain. This is Paimenenvaara area. And also we have sampling plots on that Paimenenvaara area. That is one part of the national park, so it's also conserved area. And we can very easily see those different colors, of course not so clearly what is the case normally in August or September, but still we can see those grey dead trees and a little bit reddish trees, and very clear large infestation spots. Of course, there are not any clear spots anymore because the whole big area of the uppest parts of the ridge has been infested now. So there are plentiness of dead trees, suffering trees, decayed trees. So plenty of different kind of symptoms are available there. All the different color phases, starting from green, yellow, red, and finally gray as dead trees. And this is really good spot or good area for research work. And we will continue also to study that area and also the main hills of the Koli area. Okay, then we can continue. Now I wish to tell you some facts which we have done here. So here you can see our study area. So the area is something about 130 hectares wide. And we have measured sampling plots, 28 different sampling plots, having a radius of 10 meters. And also all those are georeferenced. We know exactly the location of each our trees on our plots. And we have made typical tree measurements, diameter at breast height and height of trees. And also we have carried out assessment of all the symptoms every second week during the whole last summer, starting in May and ending in mid-September. And also we have those dendrometers there. So Paimenenvaara area, which I just showed, is here. So we have here those sampling plots also. And here you can see the design of our sampling plot. Of course, first, bit before we rushed to measure the first sampling plots, we studied orthophotos and color in orthophotos provided by National Land Survey. And so we placed all the groups of dead trees there first, and then we went to the forest area and we measured part of our sampling plots overlapping those spots of infested and dead trees, and of course we have control plots in very healthy stands in this area. And so our sampling plots is some kind of mixture of circular sampling plot, a normal sampling plot, and then we have a strip survey towards main cardinal directions. And within that circular plot, we measure all our trees very carefully, but on those strip survey lines, we make an assessment of tree condition and all the symptoms, and also we measure the distance from the midpoint of our circular plot to all those trees having symptoms, and we stop the strip survey where we can find the first very healthy trees. So therefore we are making those strip survey lines that we wish to measure also what is the area of that infestation spot, and we are doing that also this year, all those measurements, and we can measure what might be the change of the disturbance spots, and if they are growing year after year. Okay, and something about the symptoms and damage indexes. We actually created this system in our other study areas, in our Ruokolahti study areas, approximately more than 10 years ago, but we have applied this same system also in other areas, also in Helsinki and also here in Koli area. So we may make assessment of trunk symptoms, for example, entrance and exit holes, as here. And then this Koli area, we also have classified the boring dust amount and density of sporing dust, and then resinous flow and bark damages from trunk, and from crown area we are assessing color symptoms, so the changes in needle colors from green to yellow to red, and finally as a gray, indicating the healthy status, and also status of attacking beetles, because that is giving us an indication what might be the case with beetles, and also defoliation. So crown symptoms are classified into 4 classes, and trunk symptoms into 3 different classes. And then we can make calculations based on those classification of different symptoms. And so we can calculate damage indexes. Also, we can call that a scoring system. So either damage index or scoring. And so this is an example from our Ruokolahti study area, not yet here in Koli area, but it's coming later. So there's a results of plot-wise assessment from our Ruokolahti area. It's located in southern Karelia. And we well classified the symptoms, and then we scaled those values to fit between 0 and 1. And it was very interesting to see actually when we had both conservation forest areas and also managed forest areas in our Ruokolahti study area, that in forest conservation areas, those index values were much higher compared to managed forest areas. That is indicating that there is a heavy bark beetle population, heavy population of Ipstypographus in conserved forest areas compared to managed. Of course, in managed areas, the local forest company is doing sanitation cuttings and also taking care annually on those stands and watching that there are not any large infestation spots anywhere in managed forests. And it's very interesting to see which kind of values we will have from this Koli area compared to other areas. And then also another example coming from our Ruokolahti study areas. So you might be now thinking that, well, what use is to calculate those index values, and where can we use those index values, so damage index values? And they are very useful, and we have made some applications already. For example, we can use those when we are mapping forest health. We can prepare forest health maps and give also those maps for example, for companies or partners or whoever could have benefit using those forest health maps. Also, we can make modeling. We can model predisposition of some areas or stands to bark beetles. And also, if we are thinking risks of attacking bark beetles, we can make models for risk maps. And also we can project numbers or volumes of dead trees. It is also very important to know and also predict what might be the destiny of some certain special area. For example, some private forest owner might ask, what might happen in my property quite soon? And of course, because we have had very strong research on remote sensing, and we are using those indexes also for ground truth of remote sensing campaigns. And here on the right-hand side, you can see examples from the Ruokolahti study area. And for example, here in the middle, those red dots, they are dead trees, and those light green spots, they are declined trees, and those dark green spots, they are healthy trees. This is a very simple kind of healthy map from that Viitalampi study area. And here on the right hand side, we can see predicted case in Viitalampi. And this is coming from Madeleine Östersund's work based on her master's thesis, and now we produced also a publication based on her master's thesis. And here are predicted values. So predicted dead trees as red, and predicted felled trees, alive or dead felled trees. And also you can see those clusters, those pink clusters. And so there are predicted clusters of dead trees indicating bark beetle infestation spots on those areas and killing Norway spruce on these special clusters. And so that is a very nice way to make predictions. Also, there was machine learning methods also used for this kind of predictions. And we are aiming to do the similar kind of analysis also for this Koli area using our collected data from Koli area. Okay, then we have measured ecophysiology in our plots, and so we had 30 dendrometers in our plots, so groups of dendrometers, 5 dendrometers in one group in total in 6 plots, having different altitudes, because it's very important also to know, is there any impact of the altitude to the results, which dendrometer data could show us and tell us. And so the period for dendrometers as well as all that assessment work and other measurements was from late May until early September. So Ari Voutilainen is our very clever field person, and so he's here measuring, downloading the data. And then also we were very interesting to know what's happening with swarming of Ips typographus in this area, because that is very important background data, for example, for that assessment work, infestation assessment and different kind of symptom assessment. We need to know when the swarming is happening and if there are 2 different waves or only one. And unluckily, last summer was quite cold and rainy. And therefore, we got only one annual generation here in Koli area. So in late May, days were very warm and swarming was ongoing then. We can see that with that data. And then came very cold weeks and rainy weeks. And again, the temperature increased around midsummer and the swarming continued. And so this was the swarming of overwintering population. But not any second generations. I guess that this tiny increase there is a sister generation. And of course, we couldn't place our pheromone traps inside the national park area because it's strictly forbidden to collect anything here inside the park area. And therefore, we got help by the UPM Kymmene Forest Company, and they kindly provided fresh clear-cutting areas for our use, and we placed these 4 groups of traps in their property, and that was very nice area. But of course, there's approximately 15 kilometers distance. Okay, then aerial service. So we have a cooperation with Kellu company. Located in Joensuu, and Kellu company is providing our aerial data. So those airships are really interesting looking. So they have very low CO2 emission, and they are totally silent. And they collect the multispectral and red, green, blue data for us. And they are flying just about 3 grounds, so the height is 100 meters. And we will see more on Friday when we will visit the Kellu company in Joensuu. And then we had another survey by EAS Group. And Niko Koivumäki was here doing that drone campaign early September. And that was a Mikasen's Altum multispectral camera collecting multispectral data. And there was 5 lights within 1 day, and flying altitude was 120 meters. Okay, to conclude my talk, so we have collected plenty of data here, and now there's very hard work with analysis of that data, and we are aiming to do also novel tools for decision making, novel methodology for the practical use, because we need also to remember the practical side of forest management, and therefore this methodology also should serve practical forest management. Okay, thank you so much, and I'm happy if you have some questions. Thank you.